Hello, this is Joe from Nerd in Korea. We are continuing our budget goblin series. We're on to the third video now. We're looking at the direct damage. So we're kind of doing two on damage. Usually we do one per strategy, but we got combat damage and direct damage are kind of very different, I think, and very important in red. Okay, once again, goblins, their main color is red. Their main strategies are token, damage, and sacrifice. I will be doing a video on each of these. This is on the direct damage. Once again, usually I do one video per strategy, but it's the damage is a little more tricky, I think. So we're doing two. When I say budget, I mean $2 or less, and I'm using the TCG market value. Not a sponsor. Right, yeah, not a sponsor. Honorable mentions, so I'm trying to throw some honorable mentions in here. So this Emberwild Augur, these are all under 50 cents, by the way. Emberwild Augur, if you sacrifice it, deals 3 damage to target player, and you can only activate that during upkeep, so useful but somewhat limited. Fanatical Firebrand, once again you can sacrifice it to deal 1 damage to any target. Both of these might sound not great. If you're set up for a sacrifice strategy though, it's very good. And you can use damage increasers, right? There's a lot of things in red where it's like if a red source deals damage, you get bonus damage. You can start racking up that bonus damage, so even 1 red damage or damage from a red source can end up being a lot more. And Ember Mage Goblin. So yeah, you can tap him to deal 1 damage to target creature or player. Also, when he comes into play, you must search your library for a card named Ember Mage Goblin. So if you have many of these in your deck, they search out each other, and you keep just like putting another one in your hand. So if you've got if you're playing in a format without singleton like Commander, these can be very good because you can get like 4 of them down. And once again, with those damage increasers, that's going to end up being a whole pile of damage. You can do whatever you want. Again, creature or player, I guess it specifies, not whatever you want. Planeswalkers and battles wouldn't work, but anyway. That's, yeah. Yeah, the last thing I want to point out, Fanatical Firebrand has haste. That's kind of what makes him better, is that, yeah, it is only 1 damage, but he has haste, so he can tap and sack on the turn that he comes in. So again, if you've got things set up already, this can be a monster of a card. My number 5 here, Aki Lava Runner. When it deals damage to an opponent, flip it. So this is one of the flip cards. I think these are very underrated in general. It is a bit of a pain in the butt to get him or damage in with him. At least he does have haste, and with a 4 casting cost, you can reasonably do that even on like turn 2. If you've got a little bit of land ramp, or not necessarily land ramp, even artifacts. If you've got a soul ring, and turn 2, casting this is very possible. Anyway, he has haste as well, which helps a bit. I would have some evasion maybe, but yeah. It gains protection from red, which is always nice, and increases damage from red sources by 1. So this is one of those cards where, yeah, if you're doing damage with a red source, it will increase it by 1, which isn't the greatest, but you know what? It's 57 cents, so that's not too bad. I would want to use these with multiple other things to increase damage, but yeah. This is a good thing to have, like, extra, because really what you want is multiple sources of those red damage increasers. You don't want just one card that's like, there are cards that make it triple damage, which is nice, but you want to have more than just one, one source to do that with. Anywho, yeah, 57 cents. Bloodshot Trainee. So you can tap it to deal 4 damage to target creature. It is limited to creatures. Also, you can only activate this if Bloodshot Trainee's power is 4 or greater. So using maybe +1/+1 counters, if you get 2 of them on him, or some kind of equipment that gives you +2 damage, you can just start tapping him and dealing 4 damage to anything you want, right? Any creature on the battlefield. Once again, with the damage increasers, that gets real heavy real quick. Anyway, that is a whole 2 cents as well. For 2 cents, it's worth it. Flame Weave Invoker. Okay, this one is pricey mana-wise, but worth considering. A lot of red mana decks, especially if you've got Gruul, will probably be able to produce a whole lot of mana very quickly. And once you've got that kind of mana engine set up, you need something to put the mana into, and that's where this ability is amazing. First of all, no tap, right? You can just keep doing this over and over in the same turn. If you've produced enough mana, you can just nuke someone to, out of the game pretty quickly. So yeah, again, for 7 in a red, it deals 5 damage to target player or planeswalker. Okay, that is just huge, alright? 5 damage directly to a player on a reusable ability that can be used multiple times per turn. 8 is very, very pricey. I know that, but like, it's so powerful just in that, like, it costs that much mana because of how, like, really good it is. If this was like a 3 mana ability, it would break the game, you know? Anywho, that is 10 cents. Volley Veteran. This is very much a getting into very, very goblin territory. When Volley Veteran enters the battlefield, it deals damage to target creature an opponent controls equal to the number of goblins you control. So he comes in and he deals, even on there it says an opponent, not an opponent, a creature an opponent controls, but yeah. Hopefully you've got him in kind of like a Goblin Kindred deck, and that's going to be a whole lot, right? A whole lot of damage going out, and flicker him, right? Pick him up, put him back down over and over, and he's just going to like remove all of their threats, all of their defenders, all of whatever you need to get out of the way is going to get out of the way, and you can just take it, take someone out of the game pretty easy. If you've got any kind of flicker effect, this becomes like kind of a cakewalk, really. 10 cents for that one. Airdrop Condor. Okay, this one I cannot believe is only 19 cents, first of all. So it's 1 or red to sacrifice a goblin, and it deals damage equal to that sacrifice goblin's power to target creature or player. Again, creature or player, really good. You do have to sacrifice the goblin, but you combine it with something like Fireblade Charger, where when it dies, it deals damage to any target equal to its power. So you're basically getting like a free double strike out of it, and you're going to like pretty much just wipe someone out probably. With enough, if you've got counters and equipment on something, using this to kill it and then hopefully get that a double death trigger out of it is very easily doable. Even in our first video, I think our sacrifice video, we actually had 3 goblins that will do damage equal to their power as a death trigger. So this is like, gives every goblin that same ability. And if you do it with one of those 3, it's going to be double, right? So ideally you're using it with the ones that already have that ability. And then, let's say they have 15 attack power, which really isn't that unreasonable. They're going to do 15 from the airdrop, and then their own death trigger, another 15. 30 damage, even if it's midway through the game, can probably take a player out, right? That can probably be lethal. Anyway, 19 cents. 19 cents. Oh, please hit like and subscribe. It really does help out a lot. Anyway, we'll get onto the list here. Aki Lava Runner is 57 cents. Bloodshot Trainee is a whole 2 cents. 2. Flameweave Invoker is 10 cents. You do need just a pile of mana to make that worthwhile. So if you've got a deck that is just really good at pumping out mana, this is a great inclusion. Volley Veteran, 10 cents. I feel like this is the most well-known one. I hope people don't get angry I put that in the 2 spot. Usually I put the ones that are well-known in the 5 spot, but anyway. Airdrop Condor is a whole 19 cents. Does require more setup, I think, but can very easily just do so much work. Okay, anyway, take it easy.